is hello everybody, it's Boss of Toys, and yes, this is exactly what you think it is. Before we get into the video, I'd like to thank transformerland for actually having this for a reasonable price, and also allow me to purchase it before anyone else. Not really before anyone else, I just saw it first and they allowed me to get it. They also waited on me to get money for shipping, but you know, that's a whole story. But thank you transformersland, because this is one of my holy grails since the dawn of time. Or at least it feels like it. Now this is 2007 Transformers, the movie, Starscream. It is old, almost as old as I am, and it's probably about as old as most of my viewer base if the analytics are to be believed. Okay, please don't shoot. So this is him in his jet mode. I do not have the packaging for this because it's used. As can be seen by like scuffs and scratches and everything, but I still like it. He turns into an F-22, and just before we get into everything else, I'd like to point out there are some inaccuracies or some really cool attention to detail. So one inaccuracy that's very hard to miss is the shape of the horizontal stabilizers. Or are these vertical stabilizers? I forget. Also, this is hilarious. That also looks like a penis. So there's that. Mine came slightly malformed. It's oh well. And that's part of the transformation. You do get this inaccurate slot right here and these, because this thing's supposed to mostly be smooth. But it is 2007 when this, well, 2006 I believe is when this was released, so you can't really blame them. No, the F-22 does not have these giant cannons underneath the wings. And also, if this thing did have that, it would never get off the ground. He's also very chonky, like he's a very robot under the jet type of vehicle mode. Other than that, I really dig him. Technically, this is accurate as the stabilizers for the F-22 do move up and down instead of like having a control surface, so that's actually pretty cool. I doubt it was intentional. And his head. Hello, his little feet too. The cockpit is in transparent orange. You got a little seat molded in here. No, it does not open, technically. I mean, you can do that, but that's not really opening it. You got silver all around here, which is actually really nice. A lot of good silver around the wings. Decepticon logo, I believe, is tampographed in silver, so that's really cool. He's got a lot of paint on him, but he's very like a bleak robot mode, vehicle mode. Before we get into the gimmick of this vehicle mode, I want to do some size comparisons. Here he is with Cybertron Jetfire, and you can see Jetfire is quite a bit bigger in vehicle mode. And this one's as old as I am. I can confirm that. This thing was made in 2005. So this thing is just as old as I am, and it's a little older than this one, so it's cool that I have this. Reviewed. It will be reviewed. Here he is with Earthrise Starscream, and it's pretty good size. I mean, technically this thing should be a little bigger because, well, I believe the F-15 is a two-seater fighter pilot, with a co-pilot and another pilot, but I can't really confirm. We do have the F-15 and the F-22 together, which is pretty cool. And probably a comparison a lot of you guys have been waiting for. And if you follow me on any social media, you'll know that I've actually taken pictures of these two together. Studio Series and Earth and Transformers Starscream. Sorry, I couldn't get the words out right there. This one is a lot more accurate and newer and cooler, but this one's a lot more fun. This one has no gimmicks, it just transforms, which is okay, and this one just has gimmicks. So gimmick wise, Oh, you guys didn't really get that. That's his gimmick. And those will never be returned. Ever. So, let me raise this up. Okay, that's as far as that'll go. Okay. So, let's get into transformation. So, first thing you want to do is untab the wings. And these will do this on their own at some points. Undo this, because this is what's going to trigger the automorph. You want to bring down the arms, and like that. And like that. You're going to flip that down right there. That'll be important later. You're going to flip this about that way. And then there's the automorph. Flip this little piece down. You're going to fold these inwards and they will just retreat. But before you do that, you're going to want to open the legs, extend them, and rotate them. Also fold this bit right here out because that won't allow you to do anything else if you don't. Now, flip this one out also. I don't think I got it too well on the other side. Untab this, there's a little tag right here and a little slot right there. Extend. Also flip this out. This is a step I forget all the time until I'm brutally reminded of it. Rotate them in their proper orientation and put this right there. And we'll just tab into that little nook right there. I like to do it 2 clicks for each. And flip that one. Oh, before we actually do that, and now you can rotate the head. Now, I don't really know what you're supposed to do with these, but that's how I personally have them oriented. However, this is gonna, if you have one or get one, it's your copy and display it however you like. There we go. Now, he is very top heavy. So he does tend to fall over a bit. And you're also going to want to take these, splay them out. Of course you don't have to, but they're meant to replicate the look in the movie. And it's based on earlier concept art, so it's not really much you can do. And here he is in robot mode. Now he is a Voyager and he is beefy. Like, really beefy. So let's get in close here and take a look at that head sculpt. Completely inaccurate to what we see in the movie. Come on, ring light. Completely inaccurate to what we see in the movie, however, he does have really nice light piping, so that's appreciated as always. Oh no. Now moving right along, you do have like red wires and some bronze colorish. He is very dull color-wise, so he doesn't just stand out as much as a lot of people would like, but it is what it is. Going on the back, yeah, don't look at him that way. But going on the front, he's not the worst looking thing. I think there are other Transformers that look worse, like that one Swindle, or is it Knockout, I forget, from the movie line, with just like Well, he also was from a mold. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, because it's this one Transformers figure with no real head. And it's just like a very weird looking design. He is very... He's not really Dorito-esque. He is very bulky. Like, dude is swole. So let's get into articulation. Going from here. Now this is on a ratchet, and this does just come off stupid easy, but it also goes back on stupid easy. You have more ratchety goodness right there. This is on just a swivel. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's that ratchet. He has a swivel right here on his arm. No waist swivel, obviously, and no ab crunch or anything else. This goes up and down on a swivel. His legs can move out that way. Ratcheted right arm elbow joint right here. This spins and these move. Got all that right there. For some reason, the ratchet doesn't make as strong as a clicking on this one, like it does on here. But it is what it is. And a swivel at the neck. There's no ball joint, which is kind of weird, because that's really what movie lines are known for, was their ball joints. Or at least to me anyway. And yeah. And another gimmick, well, really the same gimmick, but you can take it right there, and there is a button right here, and it'll just shoot. Also, on that note, there are these holders that you can just slide that into. And it holds pretty securely, but I personally don't like the look of it, so I just leave it folded up, and I think that looks much better. Now, for size comparisons. Here he is next to the Eternal Glory of Jetfire, and as someone who saw part of the show where he was in, they actually nailed him. So I really like this figure. So yeah, he is quite a bit bigger than him too. For figures in the same time range, he is quite the beast. Although I think that's what he was meant to be. Is quite the beast. He also has, I think, an Australian accent in the show, which is quite weird, but you know. Next up, here he is next to Voyager class Earthrise Starscream, and he is quite a bit smaller. If Starscream was released today, he'd likely be classified as a leader class, and that's, oh boy, that is quite the stretch. So he has gotten pretty small over the years. Alright, next up, and here he is, next studio series, Transformers, the first movie, Starscream. Almost 2 whole decades, actually I think it's more than 1 decade of separate engineering led to this perfect Starscream. Almost perfect. Well, now that I look at him, he seems pretty skinny now, but he's top tier. Like, movie accuracy, he's pretty up there. He's not completely accurate because he does have, like, he's supposed to have more angular design, but this was an upscale deluxe from 2011 with some slight engineering changing, which is why I'm considering it a whole decade, because of the slight engineering changing. And here, this behemoth of a figure that feels solid. Also, none of his joints are definitely moving at all. His feet are super loose. So, there's that. And it's just like night and day of which one is, like, obviously better, which would be this one. Of course, this one is very nostalgic, very beautiful, very chunky. And I will always love this thing. And I also really wanted this one for a long time. You know, there's a whole like thing. I finally got this figure. This was one of my holy grails, so I love this one automatically. And it's making this one look skinny, which is hilarious. So that's been my look at Transformers Starscream. So see you all in the next video.